I'm so excited. I have just manifested like the biggest thing I've ever manifested in my entire life. I met a woman through a photo shoot that I did. We got really well. She booked me to do a photo shoot for her, and she mentioned that she was going to go see Mel Robbins, and I was like, oh, I really wanted to go and see her, but I missed out on the tickets. And she said that she bought a meet and greet ticket. So she was actually going to meet her, and she said she was going to give that away in a competition. She was running competition. So anyway, I was like, oh, I'm so entering that. So I entered it, and I manifested. I put it in my calendar. I wrote going to see Mel Robbins this Sunday. Wrote it in my calendar, prayed to the universe, did all the things, and she emailed me to say, I'm really, really sorry that you didn't win it. And I was like, that's okay. It's going to go to the person that's meant to have it. That's fine. So I was a bit disappointed, but I was fine. She literally just messaged me saying, the woman that won the competition can't come anymore. Do you want to come with me? Yes, of course I do. So I'm getting to go and meet Mel Robbins. She's helped me through so much. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I saw you had entered into the competition, and when I did obviously the spinny wheel and this name came up, and I sent you an email, as I did everybody who entered, look, I'm really sorry, but you didn't win. And you were so lovely. You were like one of the people that really interacted with me during that email chain. It was, oh, okay, well, I know it's going to go to the best person, like, or to the person that needs it the most. That was what you said. And my stomach kind of went, not that I didn't want the other person to win, but I knew how much you wanted it. And you'd said, I've been manifesting it. And then
I was manifesting hard. I put it, after I entered, I put it in my diary and everything that I was going. I blocked out that day, said I was going. I was listening to it. I was making sure. I mean, I listen to a podcast regularly anyway, but I don't necessarily listen to it on the day that it's released. But as soon as I entered, I was listening to it as soon as it came out every week, religiously. So I was putting it all out in there. So yeah, when you said I didn't win, it was fine. It was disappointing, obviously, but when I said that the right person would win it, I genuinely meant that. Like, I didn't just say it for the sake of it. I do believe things happen as they're meant to. So if I didn't win it, I knew it was because I wasn't meant to, and for whatever reason, something better was coming along for me. Maybe I'd get a photo shoot instead that day, and that was meant for me. You never know. So it was fine when you said that I hadn't won, but yeah, was a bit disappointed.
And then I remember I span it again after the lady sort of said to me, due to family commitment, I think she didn't think she was going to win, hence the reason why she'd obviously had these commitments in space. And maybe that's what happened the second time, because then I span the wheel again. And because I had told everyone that they hadn't, or told the people they hadn't won, this person then had not made an arrangement as well. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I thought, well, I can't keep spinning the wheel. And just, I guess you were just in the forefront of my mind, and it was your words, the person that's meant to win this will win it. And it's the person that needs this the most. And I just thought, Hannah, it's got to be Hannah. It's got to be Hannah. And it was lovely. It was great. Your reaction was amazing. And I know that you obviously posted on Instagram, and your daughter got involved with taking videos. It was such a lovely post. It was incredible, really, and I could see the excitement, and that made it, I got emotional watching that. I really did. I
was just genuinely so shocked and excited. Naturally, I actually didn't think I'd be that excited or shocked. I thought, obviously I knew I'd look forward to it, but I thought, it'd be great. Oh yeah, great. I get to go see Mel Robbins and get to meet her. Brilliant. And that would be it. But yeah, it was just like a pivotal moment that I thought, I'm actually going to be in the presence of someone I have followed for so long and read every single word she's ever written, including her first book that not many people know about, I don't think, or don't as much as her other ones. It's called Stop Saying You're Fine, or I'm Fine. And yeah, so actually my reaction surprised me as well, because I actually likened it to, so when I was 14, I sort of met, not as closely as I had with Mel, but Keanu Reeves, who I was obsessed with when I was younger, and I still love him to this day. I think he's the nicest guy in Hollywood. So I met him at age 14, and that just, I was speechless. And I had exactly the same feeling when I found out I was going to meet Mel Robbins. And when I did meet her, I just sort of didn't really, I feel like I didn't really make the most of the interaction because I was too, what's the word? Overwhelmed.
And I was exactly the same. And I remember when we obviously met in the morning, and I was running late as usual, if anyone knows me.
Same for me
And
too.
yeah, no, you were downstairs and I was getting ready and I was getting really flustered. It was like, what am I going to wear? I felt like I was going out on a first date. That's how I felt. Like I was going out on a first date and I was meeting this person who I really, 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 really wanted to meet. But, I had everything planned in my head. And I remember going up there, we were like, okay, well, what are we going to do? And I had my business cards printed with the message on that I wanted to give to Mel. I am going to be sharing something with you guys. I'm going to be playing you the message that me and my team gave to Mel Robbins. When I gave her that business card, there was a QR code on the business card, and above the QR code, it said, "This is a message for you, Mel." So I'm going to be playing this message to you. Hi, Mel. I am Lisa Quait. I'm the Real Woman Coach, and I am the host of the podcast Real Women's Stories. I enjoy watching women make huge changes in their lives. And I've been using your let them theory within my coaching practices. For anyone that is new to Real Women's Stories, I deliver a guest interview and a coaching episode. And this series, I'm basing it on Mel Robbins' acclaimed book, The Let Them Theory. Mel, I know that you are top of the charts in your podcast. You're top of the charts in your podcast. Your book is internationally best-selling. But what about if you could expand that reach? What about if you could touch other women within the UK? I've been running a promotional marketing campaign quite recently. And when I'm talking to women, young and obviously in their midlife, there are some women who haven't heard of your book. As you know and I know, it does make huge changes.
There's no noise, there's no one telling you what to do. And
I totally get what you're saying. And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm literally bursting because I've just recorded an episode of the Let Them Theory as part of my coaching. And the episode I've just recorded is exactly that. Mel, I have an amazing opportunity for you and for me and for my listeners. What I would love for you to do is to come on my podcast. This is about taking your book and lifting those words off the page and enhancing them for the UK community to listen to. I have a fantastic producer called Aaron Nelson. Aaron has worked in TV since he was 17 years old.
I'm going to be listening in the background, and I might pop in with a couple of questions for Lisa to pick up on. But other than that, it is over to you, Lisa. My role initially was to work with Lisa and bring her vision of what this podcast should be to life. So we came up with a format. I look after all of the technical side of things. And crucially, Lisa and I work on the editorial of each episode. Lovely. That's it. That's the outro done for me. Are you happy?
I also have Quait Williams, who is in charge of and responsible for marketing and all my PR. And Quait is the former head of ITV Press. I can't remember the bloody name of the programme now. Quait, what were you on? Britain's Got Talent? No, what did you work on? So I'm a celebrity in X Factor. I forgot even which one.
So I think the target audience for this podcast is middle-aged women. I think the middle-aged women often get lost in the debate. And I think Lisa delves into the real nitty-gritty of things that middle-aged women are thinking and feeling, but it's just not being spoken about.
I know that when I kind of made the decision to split up from my first husband, that I never wanted any regrets. I never wanted my child to ever look at me and go, Mum, did you really try? How amazing would it be to make your book, your theory that you've written in the book, and all of your practical tools and tips accessible to so many more people, especially in the UK community? And that just meant a huge amount to me because we put a lot of hard work into that message. We wanted to make sure it's that right, and it was right. And I don't think it even mattered, deep down inside, do I want her to come on this podcast? Yes, I absolutely do. But it was that I just wanted her to hear my message to her, and the fact that I put so much effort into recording this series, or the past series of my coaching episodes based on her theory, which I genuinely believe in, because they just make so much difference to me and to my clients and to everybody else. And I know you felt exactly the same.
I'd like to think that she listened, and I truly believe that she will watch it. Maybe she hasn't done yet because she's been so busy, but I do honestly think that it'll be one of those things that she does make the time to do, because she just seems like that kind of person. Like, that's the one thing that I really liked when we did meet her, that she just came, you got the energy that she was exactly as she portrayed in her podcast and on her videos, that there wasn't, nothing was false. It wasn't just a image that she was giving out there. That's who she is, and that's what I really liked, because sometimes you can meet people that you're idols, that you really admire, and you meet them, you're like, oh, they were really disappointing, they weren't who I thought they would be. But she exactly was, and even when she like hugged you, you could feel that energy off her, and that she was hugging you. It was a genuine hug. It wasn't just like a, oh, you're a stranger, I was going to put my arms around you for the photo. It was a proper, I'm so glad you're here, you've made the effort to come and see me. And when I told her that she'd had such an impact on my life, because that's literally all I could say to her, and she said, oh, well, you've had an impact on mine. And again, it didn't sound like it was just something she was saying just to reply to my sentiment. It was her acknowledgement of that she wouldn't be where she is without all of her listeners and readers. And I really, really liked that and really respected that. And I think for the people that gave her stuff, I feel like she would give it the time to give back, and even if she doesn't get a chance to reply to you or come onto your podcast, which would be amazing if she did, but even if she doesn't, if she listens to it, which I think she will, I think that says a lot.
Well, I'll let you into a little secret. She has listened to it, because I can see the people that have viewed the video on my YouTube, because it's a private video. I think her and her team have viewed it 3 times, if I'm right by my numbers.
Oh, that's exciting. That's amazing.
So I always think, she may not come on it now. She may be following me. She may be looking at me. She may be listening to the podcast. Who knows? Yeah. The fact of the matter is, you're completely right. She has watched the video. Somebody else has watched the video, probably from her team. I hope it's one of her daughters. I would love it to be one of the kids, or maybe it was both the daughters and her. That would be great. And wouldn't it be great if she started following the podcast, just to see where I'm going with it all? So, hopefully she's listening to this episode as well, and she can hear how grateful we are to have had that experience of meeting her and of being brought together as well. And we met so many fantastic people, didn't we, when we were there?
Everyone was so lovely.
Amazing. The vibe was just incredible. From the Mel Robbins day, I really wanted to capture every moment and the people that were there and the atmosphere, and obviously how I was feeling and how Hannah was feeling. So I'm going to play you some clips of the day. I'm also going to play you some clips of Mel on stage. Now, she did turn around and say at the beginning, please video, please take photos, and please share. So I am sharing Mel's messages with you. And these were particular messages that resonated with me, and that I feel that will resonate with you as a listener. It's about life. It's about making changes, taking risks that we should be taking because we know that they're right for us. And it's about venturing into the unknown, because you have one big life to live, and Mel just wants us to go and live it.
Anna, where are we standing?
Outside Mel Robbins.
And how excited are we?
Really excited.
There seems to be quite a big queue, so hopefully we're going to be able to have a conversation with her. Tell me, what if you're in front of her now, what are you going to ask her?
Oh, do you know what? I think I'm just going to wait and see what comes out of my mouth, because I have no idea. If I was having a proper actual sit-down conversation with her, then I'd have loads of things. But right now, I'm just excited. She's made such an impact on my life. So for the last 7-8 years that I've been following her. So yeah, I'm just really excited to have won this ticket to come along and spend the day with you, Lisa. And yeah, so whatever I say is what I meant to have said.
I have a little card here that says, "We made it just for you, Mel." And there's a little video in here for Mel to watch, asking her to come onto the podcast. So hopefully, let's manifest this, because Hannah manifested it coming here, and I'm manifesting Mel Robbins coming on my podcast. So I'm super excited. We've had a great morning so far, and we will update you a little bit later on. We are currently in queue just waiting to see her, and I'm really nervous, and I've got a question to ask her. And the question is, if I can remember it, if I'm allowed, is what's the one thing that you believe that happened that you haven't been brave about, that you were fearful of, but that turned out really well? Right, so we've just seen Mel Robbins. How do you feel?
I literally just said to her, I can't believe I'm actually meeting you. You've made such a big impact on my life. And thank you for everything you do. Oh.
I have just seen Mel Robbins. I just said, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting you. I'm so nervous. And she was like, what? And I was like, because I've always wanted to meet you. And she was like, well, I always wanted to meet you too. I managed to ask her if I give her the business card with a message. I gave it to somebody else. They promised me that she would watch the video. She would look at the business card. I gave her all the ones I had. So fingers crossed, I'm manifesting this. Hopefully she doesn't think I'm too much of a twat. But I was literally shaking, but I'm so happy, and now I'm really excited to watch the show.
What up, London? You have the whole future ahead of you. In fact, I'm going to tell you as your friend, your best days are ahead of you. They are not behind you. They are ahead of you. But it is up to you to create those days and those weeks and those years. And so I want you to stop wasting your life comparing it to other people. Stop holding yourself back because you're afraid of what they think. You don't need anybody's permission to do what you want to do. You don't need people to understand what is going to make you happy. You just need to do it because no one is coming. No one. And in fact, the only person that you need is here. It's you. I didn't change your life. I reminded you that you could change your life. It's who you are. And if somebody doesn't believe you, let them. If somebody doesn't understand or they're disappointed that you want to do the things you need to do, let them be disappointed. If they talk behind your back, if they leave, let them leave. Because you are not put on this earth to live someone else's life. You are not put on this earth to do it just to make other people happy. You're here to live your life. And I hope today is a brand new beginning. Because I'm telling you, the world is ready to open its arms to you, and so are the people who love you.
I have had the most incredible day with Hannah. I've coaching, exploring opportunities with Hannah, who's going to start her podcast, and having seen the most incredible Mel Robbins and having met her and given her my little card with my message, because she, in her words, it's about believing in yourself, it's about taking the action, and even if you find it uncomfortable, you have got one life to live, so we just got to live it.
Everybody was just excited, welcoming, warm, friendly. Like there was no horrible atmosphere, no animosity, no people trying to jump queues and things like that, and trying to get into other people, like take away from other people's space. And that's what I really like. And I think it just makes you think that if everyone was like that in the world, if you just get the collective energy to be like that, just it would be magic. There'd be no war. There'd be none of this drama and horrible stuff going on. So we need more of that.
Well, we can take that energy forward. And part of us, you coming to Mel Robbins, we did do a little bit of coaching, and we talked about your goals and what you wanted to do moving forward in your life. And there are certain things that we've been working on since then.
So obviously they know I'm a photographer, that I've done the photo shoot for you, but alongside that, outside of that really, but part of me is that my husband is in recovery from addiction, and I'm very open, and so is he, about both our journey on that together, but also separately. So he talks a lot about his experience of addiction and his behaviours and things that he did, and I'm very open about how it impacted me, but also about our recovery. And it's not just about his recovery, but also about my own recovery of now he's in 5 years of recovery, which is amazing, but there's a lot of it comes along with that you don't expect. So I talk about that quite openly, and I have always wanted to write a book about it and also do a podcast alongside that as well. and it's just something I've talked about for the last couple of years. And I've researched into it, but then I get as far as finding out what I need to do, and then I'm like, oh no, I don't know where to start. It's too much. I'm overwhelmed. I'll come back to that. And I just go around in circles doing that. Just research, decide I can't do it yet. Research, decide I can't do it yet. Put barriers in my way, which we've discussed about, just even having the right equipment. Oh, I don't know what I need, so therefore I just won't get any. And just little things like that. So you've been helping support me with like, what do I need to do? Well, what literally you've paired it right back to like what is literally the bare minimum you need to be able to do this. And we ascertained that's probably just a microphone and my phone, which I already have. So, and you very kindly sent me one. So I've got that. So now it's really just down to me. So I have given you a date that I'm going to have something done by. And now it's up to me and that's what kind of, again, I already had from previous therapy sessions and stuff that I've done, established that I need to have tangible goals and deadlines for things, because if you give me a deadline that's too much far in the future or not one at all, I just won't do anything because I'll just keep putting it off. So if you give me something that's like 2 months, a month probably is a maximum for me, a month in advance, I will do it. Probably won't do it till the week before. I'll leave everything to the last minute, but I will be thinking about it and it'll be processing in my brain. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, is thinking about what I'm going to talk about in my first episode, and then and setting everything up ready to record for the deadline that we've set for myself.
I think that's a barrier, or those are the barriers that most people find when they're starting something new. First of all, it's the fear of the unknown. Secondly, you're constantly trying self-sabotage or put almost barriers in your way because it's so fearful. Like, what if I fail? What if this happens? What if that happens? And actually, I think we put that pressure on ourselves. And if you just you literally draw it back and let's do baby steps. I think we put so much pressure on having this perfect formula or perfect end result. And actually what we need to do is we need to test it first. We need to see how we're going to go. So let's dip our toe in the water. Let's do it slowly. And if it doesn't feel right, why doesn't it feel right? What didn't feel right about it? And then you can have a chance, which is what you and I will do, and the work we'll continue to do together. How did it make you feel? What did you feel, wasn't working for you? How do you think you could make yourself feel better, more confident? And as I think a lot of people know that I talk about, confidence takes practice. So the more you practice it, so maybe your first take might not be great for you, but always keep that there, because when you start doing more, you'll look back and you go, God, this is how far I've come.
Yeah, that is so true, because I do that with photos now. I look at photos that I took years ago and I'm like, because whenever I'm thinking, I don't know if I like that I've done recently, I'll look back at old ones and think, oh my God, no, look how far you have come. You're so much more, and you weren't terrible then, but look how more confident you are as a photographer now, Hannah. Look what you've done. Look what skills you know now how to do that you didn't know back then. And I have to remind myself of that still. So I just need to apply the same. But it's weird how our brains so easily forget things we've already learned or done before. We don't apply the same logic to those things, even though they are the same. But we think because it's a different scenario, somehow it's different, and it really isn't.
Do you feel that you've got that perspective now from our coaching sessions?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because it's it's just sometimes I think you just need a reminder and a constant accountability of those reminders and those things, because you can just get swept up in your own head and life and all the other things that are demands that have been placed on you. And especially when you're at my age as well, when you're then starting to go through things like perimenopause and you've got a family and all those other things that are in your head, it can be very easy to have self-doubt, but also just to convince yourself you don't have the time. And not just that you don't have the time, but that you don't have the what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I've got more important things that I have to be doing. So I shouldn't be messing about with these fantasies of being, some massive podcast, which I don't want to be, by the way. It's not that I don't want to be the next Mel Robbins or anything, but that, it's just what I want to do for myself, and I want to help other people. So whether that be one person, 5, 10, whatever, that's my goal at the moment. And it doesn't matter if I've got other things going on. And I think we can talk ourselves out of thinking, believing that we deserve that, to make that space and time to do those things, that and that we're being selfish in that way.
but you're not being selfish because it's something that you're doing to help other people. But it's,
Yeah.
but it, you know, we forget that, and it's good to, you know, look back and sort of unpick those layers and go, actually, why am I doing it? I'm doing it because I want to help other people. I've been through an
Yeah.
experience in my life which I feel that other women or partners who are with a person that's in recovery, you know, what they've been through, how they've navigated it. You've also got a family and your kids. And
Yeah.
I think that the information that you're going to share with people is so important. It's so important. So you're right. You almost was talking yourself out of doing it, but actually what you're
Yeah.
doing is something really important. However, putting the washing on, right, and tidying up a cupboard is not important, Hannah, which I know that you would go, yeah, but I need to do that. Oh, I need to do this. And we always say, and I
Yeah.
speak to lots of women who will be, I feel like I have to clear out the cupboard before I can do this thing that I feel that I want to do because I almost
Yeah.
feel guilty. But you're not, you're just stopping. That's an easy thing to do. It's a
Mhm.
simple thing to do. What you're doing is hard in
Yeah.
terms of, because it's something new and because there's all these fears and all these, you know, belief systems around what you're doing, because it's entering into the unknown. But actually what you're
Yeah.
going to do is going to be so frigging powerful. And once you've done it and launched it, and once you hear the feedback you're going to get, you are just going to go, what the hell was I even worried about? Like, and
Yeah.
remember,
And I will probably say, why didn't I do this months ago? That's
yeah,
usually
and
how I
remember,
end up.
it's not about being perfect. I think we really push ourselves into the point of everything's got to be perfect. I'm not perfect. You know, I stumble, I repeat myself. I'm looking forward to you releasing your podcast and us sort of still working together.
Yes,
And
definitely.
you know, let's keep chatting and let's keep our relationship and our friendship alive, because I just, yeah, you know, I think intuition is a really, really powerful thing. And the day that I
Yeah.
saw you, Hannah Martinez, I knew you were one of my tribe. You know, Hannah turned around and said to me over email, this prize will go to the person that needs it the most. And Hannah was that person. And just having taken her on a coaching journey and that we're still working together just cements to me that the work that I'm doing in my coaching and with this podcast and building this community is just making huge changes in people's lives. And I know that from the feedback that I'm getting. And I've just watched Hannah grow, and the realizations and the aha moments that she talks about, in the fact that she is capable of achieving her goals, but she just needed that gentle little support system and those questions to reflect on herself and her skills and her self-belief. And that's what this podcast is about. And these are the topics that I talk about in this podcast. And I am living proof of that too. So I will continue to deliver this podcast because I know that I'm doing good in the community. I'm building something really strong and powerful for all of you. So I am looking forward to sharing even more episodes with you of real women's stories.